Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I've got another crochet tutorial for you guys, and y'all already know I have been stuck on braidless. And I don't just do this in the front, I do the entire head this way. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, let's get into it. Today's video is brought to us by Ywigs. They sent me over 4 bundles of their feather crochet hair in 18 inches. This is the Spanish curl. Now you're probably thinking all these curly types look alike. This one is different. Don't get this confused with the Burmese. This is a bouncy curl. Now let me show you how I did this install. It's a little different than the ones I've done in the past. I'm starting out on freshly washed, conditioned, leave-in condition, you name it, it's in there, hair. It is damp. It is not fully wet. It is damp. I'm going through and I'm doing the illusion braid pattern in the front. I did 5 on each side of my head. You see that price tag? Yes, it's expensive, but it's totally worth it. Y'all been with me for a while. I use this all the time. It's totally worth it. So yeah, I'm going in with the foaming wrap mousse, and that's basically just going to tame my natural hair down. I'm doing this damp because it keeps the hair as flat as possible. The last time I did this on dry hair, and my hair just kept puffing up and frizzing up underneath the install. So I decided this time it would be a good idea to try to do it on damp hair, and then I used the mousse to kind of like tame the frizz and the flyaways. It's the same mousse that we use for doing mold downs for pixies and whatnot. So same concepts apply. Illusion pattern is straightforward. All you're doing is creating your horizontal lines, and then you're breaking those lines up into boxes like you would for box braids. You're going to rubber band each section, and then as you move backward, you're going to connect all those sections together. The other upside of using the mousse is that it helps your hair dry faster. So it basically sets everything into place. Now, if you can braid, you can go ahead and just braid down the back like you normally would. But this video is for the girlies who either can't do it, won't do it, or just ain't got the skill set. What I'm doing here now is connecting the front to the back. I'm making 4 sections all the way in the back, and basically on that side you see I got 3 sections going into one, and then at the top I'm going to crisscross those 2 middle pieces so that they cross over in the middle, and I have something to work with in the middle of my head. I hate when there is a line all the way down, like a line of demarcation all the way down the middle of your head. Makes absolutely no sense to me. So I always make sure that there is one right at the crown so that when the hair falls, you have all of those gaps filled in. And again, because the hair is damp, it was easier to get it flatter and easier to part it off. I'm grabbing very small slice sections, and I'm using 2 rubber bands in the back, but as you can see, I'm only rotating them once or twice. They're not tight at all, folks, and they didn't pop at all. And because I'm working with damp hair, they're not dry. So play with that in the comments if you want to. Basically, I just continued the chain link all the way down, and even when I got to the ends, I continued rubber banding the ends so that they would be tamed as well, because what we're going to do is we're going to fold those over and hide those into the foundation. Now, if you want, you can bobby pin this, but I thought I would show you guys a technique that I use, especially now with a lot of feather crochet clients. I'm going to extend the end of that section, and then I'm going to use that extension to crochet it through the foundation so that all I have to do when I go to take this down is fish that braid out, and it'll come right out. Now, the main question I got in the last few videos is, how do you take this down? This is actually a lot easier than taking braids down, you guys. All I did was just pop the rubber bands. I've been doing this for a while. Y'all know I like to use a fingernail clipper. That's usually what most people have on hand, but if you can get your hands on a seam ripper, or if you can get your hands on a pair of tiny scissors, or if you can just get a pair of extra hands, somebody who can help you out with that, all you got to do is snip those rubber bands, and it's just going to loosen everything up. So you see here, I extended that leg right there, and then I used that extension to crochet it through the foundation. And then what I did was I split it into 2. made sure that it wrapped around that section, and then I'm going to just tie it off. And that literally kept everything in place. I didn't have to do any sew downs. You could very well put a net on top of this, but you know, this is just like worst case scenario. You don't have any tools on hand. All you got is the crochet hook that came in the package and the rubber bands that you have on hand. So, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. Once I finished tying off those 4 legs, I went ahead and just added 1 bobby pin to the ends that were kind of still sticking out. You know, my hair just does what it wants to do sometimes. I try not to use bobby pins because they can get uncomfortable when you're sleeping on them, but it really just depends on the placement. Now all that's left to do is to crochet the hair through your foundation. How you do this is up to you again. I prefer to go through the hair and not underneath it. Just simply because when you go to take this down, it slides out a little bit better. I also do the one-sided loop method, so I get through these installs, you know, super duper fast. I also did not do 1 piece of hair at a time. I doubled them up. Normally I will do singles in the front, but I honestly didn't feel the need to do that with this curl pattern, so I doubled up the entire head, which also helps you speed up the process. Now for the front, I did do the feed-in method where you pull a piece through the very front portion of it to kind of hide the braid or the cornrow, in this case a rubber band, when you pull the hair back. However, when you do pull it all the way back, you can see it. So for those of you who were asking, here's a way to hide the rubber band. You're just going to take that piece and you're just going to crochet it through and wrap it around the rubber band. I did that 2 or 3 times, just until it was completely covered. You see how that looks there? And then once you get that secured, then you can continue crocheting as usual. So here's the hair completely installed. It might have taken me tops 2 hours to do this beginning to end. This is what the hair looks like in its full length. Super pretty, very bouncy, but you know me, I get a little scissor happy. So I just wanted to trim off some of the excess pieces that kind of just didn't give it any structure, and then I did just a tiny bit of rounding, just a tiny bit. I didn't want to cut too much because again, this is reusable hair, so I want to be able to reuse this later on, and I didn't want to overdo the bangs too much because I didn't know how I was going to make this middle part work. Y'all know I'm not a big fan of middle parts, but you know, I've been working it out lately and I think it's growing on me. My forehead is looking a little extra, but it's growing on me, y'all. It's also pretty hot in Texas already, so I was considering cutting this shorter, but the hair is really light and airy and flowy, so we're good to go. As always, if you learned something new, give this video a big thumbs up and share it with a friend. Special thanks to our friends over at Ywigs for sponsoring today's video. All the information you need about this hair, tools and products used will be listed in the description box below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!